Hey everyone, I hope you are having a wonderful time. Today I like to share my experience of this Dynaphrips Hestia full balance Class A preamplifier line controller, retail for around $1,100 depending on the exchange rate, featuring 2 XLR inputs and 1 RCA input and 2 analog output. One is the RCA and one is XLR out. RCA out is 2 volt and XLR out is 4 volt. I'm pairing it with this Class D 500 watts mono blocks from Ice Power using XLR cables, and it works wonderfully well. And my front end component, I try a few different components, right, such as starting with Dynaphrips Pontus 2 R2R DAC, playing all the music via my MacBook Pro or the Sony Music Server, feed it directly to this Pontus 2 and connect it to this Hestia preamplifier, and it sounded very good, and it totally can deliver actual sound signature of Pontus 2. Nice and rich, very engaging tonal balance with high resolution and detailed sound quality that it can reproduce. When I'm using oversampling mode on this Pontus 2, stereo image is more precise and really dead center stereo image. When I'm not oversampling, the stereo image is spread out and is not that I desire. So I end up only using in oversampling mode when I'm using Pontus 2. Although some music, the oversampling sound better, some music not oversampling is much better sounding, so it depending on recording as well. So there is no absolute truth in that what I'm gonna use, right? Oversampling or not oversampling. Just the little thing that I like to point out. But all in all, I tried that back to back, without and with, and I end up always listening in oversampling mode no matter what music I listen to, because I like that nice and precise dead center stereo image using these two different speakers. One is JBL L100 Classic 75th and the other one is Pioneer TED S1EX. And also I try with this Sony Music Server, feed it directly to this pre-stage as well as feeding USB cable. I find it to be this Hestia preamplifier is transparent. It doesn't really give you sound color of its own. When I'm pairing the Sony HAP-Z1ES Music Server, it totally shows the transparent and really white and high resolution sound signature of Sony Music Server. When I try with SACD player Marantz, sound signature totally shows it, and I was enjoying all my CDs all over again, because I really like the way that it doesn't get in the way. I like all the things that it can reproduce from my favorite CDs, like especially classic rock CDs. I have a bunch of them. This Hestia really shows the ability of bringing the best out of whatever the component they feed into it, right? So CD player or music server or the DAC. This Dynaphrips Pontus 2 DAC has very nice, really good engaging sound signature. There's another point that I would like to make is a lot of people have many things to say on this and that, and good and bad on every product, right? So that is depending on like what kind of component or what speaker or what is your room sound like, right? So there is no absolute truth in it, because this Pontus 2 never failed me in terms of sound quality. Absolutely high resolution and great sound stage and depth that it can produce. Best of all, the background noise is quiet as R2R DAC in the price point. Background noise and noise floor is absolutely perfectly they executed for this design and price point that they are offering. So in the Dynaphrips lineup, this Pontus 2 and this Hestia preamplifier and DAC combination is perfect combination. If you want to go a little cheaper, you can go like Aries 12, Power Test 2, and this Hestia, and playing 500 watts Ice Power Class D amps paired with this JBL L100 Classic sounded wonderfully well with very good synergy. Bass control, mid-range accuracy, like nice and rich tonal balance with very good high frequency extension, as well as giving me much desirable, really good dynamic range attack, because without getting bright sound that is enjoyable pairing. Only limited thing that you may experience is it only have a 3 analog inputs, so some people might want to have more inputs. So this JBL L100 Classic 75th is highly revealing, because if your DAC or amplifier is forward, this JBL is gonna show it. So when I pair with my Pioneer TED S1EX with this combination, it sounded a little too polite for my taste. Background noise is absolutely quiet. Right now I have volume control knob at 20 position, which can get me around like 75 to 80 dB range depending on what music I'm playing. If I'm playing like DSD or SACD, it will get me around 75 dB range. If I'm playing PCM high-res files, it gets me around 78, 80 dB range. That is my reference level, 75 dB range. But my average listening level in this room goes around 55 to 65 dB range. So if I want to listen around like 55 dB range, I can go down to 5, volume level 5, and if I want to go up a little bit like 60 dB range, I can go up to number 10 positions. And it does include this fully aluminum remote control. This remote control is super solid, but winter, this one is incredibly cold to handle it. So it has all the features that you can use, but mainly I only use analog input and volume control, power on and off. So rest of the features probably I have to use with different Dina Phrips components. It has like a button lithium cell battery inside. The preamplifier is very solidly built, solid chassis with nicely spread out inputs and outputs, as well as input selector is very precise, and also features the volume knob is 60 steps attenuator, which really nice and precise feeling to it when you're turning it, right? So that is a really good quality built. I had a fair share of preamplifier stages from different manufacturers such as PS Audio, Parasound, and Accuphase and Denon. So fully balanced design in this price point, that is unheard of. Fully balanced, absolutely quiet preamplifier stage. I also tried one of my favorite DAC from SMS Audio, which is D400EX Delta Sigma DAC, right? I tried that, and this Hestia can totally shows actual sound signature out of that DAC as well. All you need is a DAC or phono stage, and probably you are set, assuming you already have power amplifiers, right? So I tried Class D, Class AB, and it can totally deliver as promised, like transparency and accurate sound signature without any interference in sound reproduction. So I totally enjoy it. I really like the design, solid chassis, full aluminum build. Build quality is as good as any $3,000 preamplifier stages, as well as fully balanced architecture that had to be. So if you are shopping for any preamplifier stage under $2,000 price point, I can highly recommend this Hestia from Dina Phrips for you to try it out, and probably you will enjoy it. So that is my experience that I like to share with you. Thank you very much for watching, and happy listening.
sky. It's the color of love. There must have been an angel by my side. Something heavenly came down from above. He led me to you. He led me to you. He built the bridge to your heart all the way. How many times they'll live inside, oh, I can't say. When I was led to you, you were the one for me. I swear that I could feel my heart beating when I lay eyes on you. Hey, let me by me. You wrap me up in the color of love. You gave me the kiss of life, kiss of life. You gave me the kiss of life, kiss of life. Wasn't it clear from the start? Look, the sky is full of clouds. The sky is full of clouds. On the bass, Mr. Torigoe Keisuke-san. On the guitar, Onuma Yosuke-san. Yeah.